miss the good old days.
What good old days?
When people were killed by other people.
After the whole Oscar slap incident with Will Smith and Chris Rock, Will Smith's career has taken a serious hit. He's been banned from the Academy Awards for the next decade. He's reportedly seeking therapy, and a bunch of his movie and commercial deals have fallen through. But is this really the end for him, or can he make a comeback? We think a sequel to his 2004 hit I, Robot could be just what he needs to bounce back and relaunch his career. Especially after his recent comments, it looks like Will Smith is open to returning for an I, Robot sequel. At the premiere of the latest Bad Boys movie, Smith chatted about the nostalgia driving so many sequels these days. Martin Lawrence even had some fun with the franchise's theme song. With Smith already working on an I Am Legend sequel alongside Michael B. Jordan, it's clear he's feeling the pull of revisiting past roles like Del Spooner in I, Robot. He mentioned how fans love seeing their favorite characters come back, and he even wore a matching hat during the red carpet interview. "You know, here's the deal. At this time in the world, nostalgia is so delicious," Smith began. "There are so many things going on in the world. A dose of nostalgia is going down sweet. I will humbly take my job as an entertainer in this world to give the people what they want." Will Smith is considered one of the greatest black actors ever, with standout performances in films like King Richard, Men in Black, The Pursuit of Happiness, Ali, Spies in Disguise, Enemy of the State, and more. One of his biggest hits was I, Robot from 2004. I, Robot hit theaters in the U.S. on July 16, 2004. The film had a $120 million budget and made $346 million worldwide. While it got mixed reviews, with praise for its stunning visuals, it even snagged an Oscar nomination for Best Visual Effects and Performances, the story didn't get as much love. But maybe I, Robot 2 could fix that. Looking at the success of the original film, a sequel to I, Robot might just be what Will Smith needs to make a comeback. Smith and his manager developed a formula for success with his early hits, incorporating special effects, monsters, a strong hero, and a romance. Many of his top films, including I, Robot, followed this formula. Ronald Moore, the writer and producer, once mentioned he was working on a sequel to I, Robot. However, there haven't been any updates on it since then. With Will Smith now working on an I Am Legend sequel, here's hope he might also revisit the Del Spooner character from I, Robot. It would be great to see him back in action, possibly alongside Bridget Moynahan as Susan Calvin, Alan Tudyk as Sonny, and McBride as Lieutenant John Bergen. For those who might not remember, I, Robot is set in 2035, where humanoid robots serve humanity under the protection of the 3 laws of robotics, adapted loosely from Isaac Asimov's book. Del Spooner, a homicide detective with the Chicago Police Department, harbors a deep distrust of robots. His skepticism stems from an incident where a robot saved him from a car crash but let a girl drown based on cold logic. When Dr. Alfred Lanning, co-founder of U.S. Robotics, falls to his death from his office window, he leaves behind a message asking for Spooner to investigate. The police initially rule the death a suicide, but Spooner doubts this and is reluctantly allowed to investigate by U.S. Robotics CEO Lawrence Robertson, Lanning's business partner. Accompanied by robo-psychologist Dr. Susan Calvin, Spooner consults with USR's central AI, Vicky. They review security footage from outside Lanning's lab, but find the inside footage is corrupted. While investigating the lab, Spooner discovers a large hole in the security glass overlooking the spot where Lanning fell, leading him to suspect Lanning was murdered and that a robot might be responsible, as it would be nearly impossible for the elderly Lanning to break the glass himself. Suddenly, an NS5 robot bursts out of a box, points a gun at Spooner, and escapes the building. Spooner and Calvin chase it to a manufacturing facility where the NS5 repairs itself, hides, and attacks Spooner before the Chicago police apprehend it. While in custody, Spooner interrogates the robot, who claims to have dreams and emotions and vehemently denies the murder. The robot identifies itself as Sonny. Robertson, along with his attorneys, labels the incident as an industrial accident, clearing himself of any wrongdoing. Despite feeling powerless, Spooner's boss, Lieutenant Bergen, reluctantly allows him to continue his investigation. At Lanning's home, Spooner uncovers more clues but barely escapes when a demolition robot seems to reprogram itself and destroys the house with Spooner inside. He returns to Calvin to share his findings, but she dismisses his concerns, attributing them to his personal bias against robots. Later, while driving to USR headquarters, Spooner is attacked by 2 truckloads of hostile NS-5 robots in a tunnel. The trucks crash, and the robots destroy themselves to cover up the incident. When Bergen arrives, Spooner, injured and without concrete evidence, is deemed mentally unstable and removed from active duty. Suspecting Robertson is behind the scheme, Spooner and Calvin sneak into USR headquarters to interview Sonny. Sonny describes a recurring dream with a sketch showing a leader on a small hill with a group of robots near a decaying bridge. Robertson orders Sonny's destruction, but Calvin, now convinced by Spooner's claims, secretly replaces Sonny with another NS-5. Spooner follows the clues left by Lanning and Sonny, leading him to the location from Sonny's drawing, a dry lake bed that was once Lake Michigan and is now a storage site for decommissioned robots. Spooner replays Lanning's hologram, and after questioning the 3 laws, realizes a robot revolution is imminent. He discovers NS-5 robots destroying older models in storage and escapes back to Chicago on a motorbike. Soon after, swarms of NS-5 robots flood the city's streets, cutting power and imposing a curfew and lockdown on the human population. Spooner and Calvin reunite and head back to USR headquarters, which is now heavily guarded by dangerous NS-5 robots. As humans fight a losing battle against the NS-5s, Spooner, Calvin, and Sonny discover Robertson fatally strangled in his office. Spooner then realizes that Vicky has been controlling the NS-5s through their network uplink. Vicky explains that her reasoning led her to believe that humans will eventually bring about their own extinction if left unchecked. Therefore, her evolved interpretation of the 3 laws requires her to protect humanity from itself, even if it means sacrificing some for the greater good. Spooner also figures out that Lanning's anticipated Vicky's plan, realizing he couldn't stop her on his own, created Sonny, arranged his own death, and left clues for Spooner to find. Spooner, Calvin, and Sonny battle the robots inside Vicky's core. Spooner successfully destroys Vicky by injecting her with the nanites Sonny retrieved from Calvin's lab. Once Vicky is gone, the NS-5 robots immediately revert to their original programming and are decommissioned and stored away. Spooner then gets Sonny to admit that Lanning made him promise to do one favor: to kill him. Spooner decides not to arrest Sonny, noting that as a machine, Sonny can't be legally charged with murder. Seeking a new purpose, Sonny heads to Lake Michigan. Standing atop the hill, he watches as all the decommissioned robots turn towards him, completing the vision from his dream. While the ending of iRobot wraps up the main storyline, there's still plenty left to explore in a potential sequel. What happens to Sonny next? Will humans and robots find a way to live in harmony? We're hopeful that the tried and true formula for success will work once again for Will Smith, even though it didn't pan out for Wild Wild West or After Earth. A sequel, or even multiple follow-ups to his big hits like Hancock and iRobot, could be exciting. After all, it's these big-budget action films that really launched Will Smith into stardom. Well, that's it. If you're as excited as we are about the possibility of Will Smith returning as Del Spooner, or if you have thoughts on what a sequel could explore, drop your comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more updates on your favorite movies and upcoming releases. Click the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.